Welcome to Rugby Uncovered. I'm Paul Rodriguez, and today we're talking to Kirsty-Lee Griffiths from Richmond Rugby. Welcome to the show, Kirsty-Lee.
Oh, thank you so much. Hello.
It's great to have you on the show. So, how did you get into rugby?
Well, I got into rugby, I think it was around 6 years ago now. Originally, I used to play football, really into my football, but my friend told me maybe I should give rugby a try. So I went over to a training session and never really looked back since. It was just an amazing experience. I've never experienced such great team bonding before in any other sport, and it was just such a great feeling with all the girls. So started from there.
So, from what I understand, the feeling of picking up the ball and running with the ball, there's nothing else like that, apparently.
And nothing else quite like that. And being tackled for the first time, that was quite an experience as well.
Well, with it being such a physical game, did you have any reservations about it? And did your friends and family have any reservations about you playing rugby?
I think my nan had the most reservations about it. I think she still does now a little bit whenever she goes to a game. She's always shouting at the other players to get off me and things like that. Yeah, I think they had a bit of reservations. I mean, when I started playing, I played for a couple of months and I broke my leg. So they told me maybe it wasn't the sport for me. But, I carried on and I knew it was the sport for me. And I think they're a lot more used to it now and understand kind of the risks that are involved, but the enjoyment that I get out of it is so much more.
Absolutely. So, how did you know which position would work best for you on the pitch?
I think I was pretty much just told what I probably should be. I'm quite tall and relatively fast, so I think they threw me on the wings to begin with, and then as I started to learn the game, which took me a while, obviously learning all the rules. That was probably the hardest part of starting rugby, actually, is learning all the rules, because before I started playing, I'd never really even watched it before on TV, so it was a completely new sport to me. So started off as the wing, and then as I learned and understood the game a lot more, then I moved into centre, and that's where I've played the majority of my career as centre and sometimes at wing as well.
For girls and boys, indeed, who are listening and wanted to get into rugby and were a little bit maybe not put off by, but wonder about the rules, what would you
Mm.
say to them?
I'd say take it a step at a time. I think, with anything in life, when there's a lot of information or things to learn, it can become a bit overwhelming. And I think it's best to just take it a bit of a time and understand that each day is, a learning day, and you'll learn as you go on. And I mean, the rules change a lot anyway, don't they? So every
Yeah,
day really is a school day. So yeah, I think it's not to get overwhelmed and just appreciate that you're just going to get better and better and better. And I think that's an exciting thing, right? To actually go into something and not understand it and not know, all you're going to do is get better. So that's quite an exciting thing, I think.
absolutely. I mean, you can watch a game of rugby without knowing the rules, but still enjoy it. But
Hmm.
to really get inside the game, you do obviously have to know a little bit about what's going on. It certainly does help.
Mm. Yeah, I think it absolutely does help to kind of have an understanding. So it probably would have been better if I started watching a bit of rugby first before I started. I mean, especially now, being able to, watch a game or not even on the TV, we used to only be able to see like international games on TV, but you can just pop down to a local game and, start to understand the game a little bit more then. And there's a lot of free games you can go watch and stuff. So there's a lot of grassroots stuff you can get involved with and go and watch.
Definitely. I mean, the women's Premier 15s, you see fantastic games, and some are free to attend. So, and there should be more people going to these games because
Mm,
the quality of them is amazing, and
yeah.
the sportsmanship is amazing. And the only thing that isn't amazing is how many people are attending. So we think this is really something that needs to change in the future.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think, being in the Premier 15 3 years now, so I've really seen the growth of the game and the supporters coming to watch. So in our first year, there was only, a handful of supporters that would usually come down, and they'd usually just be family members. And now we've got to the point where, we can have hundreds coming to watch our game, even thousands we've had.
Yes.
So I think it is a really growing game. You see people's perceptions changing of the women's game as well, understanding, rugby is not just for men, and appreciating that it is a different it's a different style and tactic of rugby, I'd say, women's rugby compared to men's rugby, and people are starting to appreciate it and respect it a lot more now.
Yes, indeed. So obviously, life isn't normal at the moment for anybody. Um,
Yeah.
if we could wind back to when life was normal for you,
hmm
would you describe a normal week for you training and playing for Richmond Rugby?
Yeah, so it was always quite a fun-packed week, full. So we'd have our main training on Tuesdays and Thursdays would be our team training. So that would run from like 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock. Then we'd have 4 gym sessions during the week as well.
Four
So we'd
gym
have
four
them
gym sessions.
four, yeah. So we'd have them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'd do upper body splits and then lower body splits as well. And then we'd obviously have our games on a Saturday.
Right. And you are currently managing and running a company, a macro food
hmm
company, which we will come to. But how did you
Yeah.
fit that into your training and your playing of rugby? And is that a recent thing, or were you doing something else when you first started at Richmond?
Yeah, when I first started in Richmond, I didn't have the company, so I used to work in sales in the city. So that was my job. And when I joined that company, I actually before I took the job, I said there's one condition: I have to leave by this time, on Tuesdays and Thursdays to be able to get to training on time. And that was a condition of me taking the job. I wasn't going to take it otherwise.
Right.
And then yeah, about just over a year ago, I started my business called Macro Foods. So we're kind of a healthy delivery only food brand, sorry. And yeah, when I first started the business, it was really difficult because I had to be in the kitchen every evening. So I actually had to take a step back from rugby for about 6 months,
Oh, right.
which was that was the hardest part of it all. To be honest, it was incredibly difficult for me because rugby has been a huge part of my life for so long, and probably the number one thing in my life for a long time. And it was I had to, reprioritize, and I had to prioritize the business for a little bit to get it off the ground. So that was really difficult. So, but after those 6 months, and I got the business to a position where it could run kind of without me being there 24/7. I managed to integrate my rugby and my business together, and I was able to, spend my daytime doing my work and be able to have time in the evening to be at training and and balance them both. Although it's not easy, obviously, it is difficult. Sometimes I'll have a call just before just before we're getting ready to prep for a game, and something's gone wrong in the kitchen that I have to handle really quickly on the phone and stuff. So
Absolutely.
it's a bit of a balancing act, but for me, it was really important that I always make sure I be able to prioritize rugby as well, because it's a huge part of my life, and it's part of the reason why I started the business as well. I never really wanted to lose that, and it's and number one thing, it makes me really happy. So I
Yeah.
think if you're sacrificing too much of your life for your career or your business or whatever you want to do, then you're losing sight of why you're doing it in the first place.
So you obviously like a challenge, and you're obviously a very driven person. Is there someone in your family who you get that trait from, do you think?
um, Not really, actually. I don't know where it's really come from. I think my dad's always been a very hard worker. It's something I've really respected of him for a very long time. He works ridiculous hours every week to, provide for our family and my two other sisters. And I think that's something I've always respected and seen from him is that, hard work pays off.
Yeah.
And, I'm from a very, very middle class background, and all my family worked really hard, and in either factories or admin jobs and stuff like that. And I think when I was younger, I just wanted to be able to come from the area that we came from and show that you could come from where I was brought up, which is a place called Wolston in the Midlands. And you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, and you don't have to feel like you're stuck there and have to live there and you know work in a small job or whatever. You have the ability to do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it.
Fantastic that your dad is your role model. Do you have any idols within the sport, or not even necessarily within rugby, but within other sports that you admire?
Um, this is going to be a bit of a strange one. So he's not in sport or anything like that, but I really respect Dwayne Johnson, The Rock,
Oh, yeah.
um,
Yeah, yeah.
because
That's not so
his
strange.
yeah, but his work ethic and how hard he works on the physical aspects and the training as well, and always being the hardest worker in the room. That's kind of his phrase that he uses, and the fact that he has so many strings to his bow as well. Because I feel like a lot of people are told when they're at school or whatever, find the one thing you're good at and just do that. And I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think you should, if you're good at a lot of things, you should pursue as many things that you want to pursue. And that's what I always wanted to do as well. I wanted to have, my business and my sport, and I also play the drums as well. I have like different areas of me that I enjoy, and I don't feel like people have to pick one area and just stay in that area for the rest of their life. I think you should be able to do different things, and that's what The Rock does. There's an actor who has his own businesses, his clothing brand, all this kind of stuff that he works on. He's not just in one lane. He tries to do many different things, and that's something that I've always wanted to do as well.
Brilliant, brilliant. So you play the drums too. So who's your favourite band and who's your favourite drummer?
Actually, I'm into kind of dance music, so I'm not into kind of like rock music, which is quite funny. So I'm into that sort of things rather than like the rock music. People always assume when you play the drums, like I'm into more like rock stuff,
Well,
but
yeah, of course.
no,
But no.
yeah, no.
Interesting, interesting stuff. So how are you keeping fit in this environment? What are you have you adapted to the fact that it's probably, well, obviously you can't train with the team.
mm,
You've got to train
mm.
at home or on your own. What are you doing at the moment?
Well, it's obviously been incredibly difficult. When you used to have such a routine and rota, kind of your body was in such a routine of training and so forth. So it's been difficult to definitely have the same routine at the moment, especially because, as you know, with what's going on at the moment, businesses are really stretched and strained, and I've had to put in a lot more hours than I usually would as well. So I'm literally trying to fit it in where I can. But we've Richmond have done some amazing things to make sure all the team are coming together and training. We've been given set programs that we can work on, focusing on body weight and things like that, because obviously many people don't have access to some weights at home, or they might have some bands. So we have some band workouts we can do. And we also do some kind of Zoom classes as well, where we all join in, the men and the women as well, which is really good with a Retail Performance, who's our S&C partner. And yeah, we do a full session, and you can see everyone as well. So you can
Fantastic.
see who's slacking, which is funny as well. And yeah, our head coach can kind of, our head S&C coach can kind of help us with some pointers as well, because maybe we're doing some moves wrong and stuff like that. So that's been incredibly helpful. Also, thankfully, because one of the Richmond players actually works for Macro Food as well, we're able to spend time with each other as well, and train with each other at the local park, because we're with each other every day anyway at work. So that's been helpful to help motivate each other as well.
So tell us a bit about Macro Food itself. So this is a delivery company where you deliver whole foods. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's a delivery only health food restaurant basically. So how it works is you find us on platforms such as Delivery, Uber Eats. We cook the food to order, and it's delivered to the customer's doors in less than 30 minutes. So we're based in Battersea, so we cover a lot of the South West London area. So that's what we've been mainly doing for the past year and a bit. And in this current climate as well, we've tried to find more ways to help our customers eat healthy. So what we've been doing recently, it's why I brought on one of the Richmond players, Fee, who's been helping me out as well. So we've created these kind of fresh fruit and veg boxes that we can deliver to customers' doors, because obviously with the craziness of the supermarkets right now, it's been very difficult for people to get fresh and healthy food. So we've been delivering those boxes around, South West London, and started to expand to Richmond as well. So a lot of the players and coaches and staff are supporting us as well with that, which has been really great.
I saw from your website, macrofood.co.uk, that you very kindly donated some boxes to the NHS. I think that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I want. I think something I've obviously wanted to do. Anything we can do to help. I think, all of us feel a bit helpless in this situation. The best thing we can all do is stay at home to help stop the spread of disease. So anything that any of us can do to help, it makes you feel amazing. It was, just being able to get in touch with the hospital and being able to donate some meals and knowing they're getting actually some healthy food as well to help fuel them in the hospital is just, honestly, it's one of the happiest moments I've had working for creating the business, is being able to do things like that and be able to give back where you can. It's just such an amazing feeling.
Absolutely. Looking forward to when everything gets back to normal, and we can all get back to watching and you obviously playing rugby.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for next year?
Um, well, we're still unsure of what's going to happen with the league at the moment. Obviously, we've been told now the Premier 15 league this year was null and void, and no one knows what that really means moving forward. Does that mean that there was no third year of the Premier 15s league? Is the third year going to happen next year? Is the retendering process going to happen? Is that still going ahead? And they're restructuring the league, so there's still a lot of uncertainty there. So we don't know as a club, Richmond, what is going to be happening. But all we can do is get ready and prepare and get our bodies in the best shape possible and getting ready to be back on the field, whatever shape or form that means next season.
Absolutely. That's great. And one of the most amazing things that we've discovered in talking to, players like yourself is
Mm,
how you're juggling so many things outside of rugby itself.
hmm
Whether it's running a business, whether it's studying at the same time, traveling halfway across the country for training, it shows a
mm,
real passion and a love of the sport that is
mm.
amazing to see and hear, and it's great to uncover these stories. And I just hope wish you all the best for the business, all the best for the next season, and really looking forward to seeing you back on the pitch and playing the game you love.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm super excited for getting back on the pitch, and I hope it's sooner rather than later.
For people who want to follow you, Kirsty-Lee, what's your Twitter page?
It's at Macro Food UK, and it's the same handle on all social medias as well.
At Macro Food UK. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put a link to that in the show notes. Well, take care and all the very best. And we hope to speak to you soon on the pitch.
Thank you. Great
Th-
to chat.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
now.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, drop us a line, paul@rugbyuncovered.com. Until next time.